I'm looking to travel to some of my favorite destinations across Africa, and it seems that travel is super expensive. Why is it so expensive for Africans to travel within Africa? According to the African Development Bank Group, Africa international tourism increased to 67 million tourists in 2018, compared to 58 million tourist arrivals in 2016, more than a 15% increase. Data from the World Tourism Organization shows that international visitors brought in $37 billion onto the continent in 2017. When it comes to holiday travel, Africa is the second fastest growing market in the world, now employing 9.3 million people, making it a billion-dollar industry. Even as the number of international tourists has been steadily increasing, the number of Africans traveling within the continent has also been showing similar trends. A report from the International Civil Organization shows that out of the 61 million passengers departing from Africa, 27% were traveling to a different destination within the continent. Travel blogger Noni Maingi knows all too well the complexities that come with traveling in and around Africa. How many African countries have you been to?
All of East Africa except for Burundi. Southern Africa, I've been to Zimbabwe, South Africa, Madagascar is sort of in between. Then there is Seychelles, there is Ghana, there's Morocco.
Wow.
Yeah, quite a few.
In your opinion, which country was the easiest to travel to?
Tanzania. Tanzania has quite a few options in terms of flights, quite a few options in terms of accommodation that are budget friendly. And it is also quite easy to move around through public transport.
From the people that read your blog, would you say that Africans want to travel?
Increasingly, what I'm finding is that Africans want to travel within their own countries as a starting point, and then within Africa, and then take it out from there.
What's stopping them from traveling?
Cost is a very big thing. Cost in terms of flights, in terms of availability of accommodation in a lot of African destinations. There's also, as usual, the big question around visas and why we need visas as Africans, especially because they're so prohibitive in costs. And the third thing is flights.
In your opinion, what should be done to make traveling in Africa and around Africa easier?
The first thing is definitely visas. Visas are a massive, massive problem. The second is working on transport infrastructure, be it air, be it rail, be it road. And the third would definitely be availability around accommodation, especially safe and secure hostel accommodation.
Africa is rich with dozens of stunning holiday destinations, colored with wildlife, culture, and breathtaking landscapes. But the continent also isn't the cheapest or easiest holiday destination. I want to find out how much my dream holiday will cost me.
Some buffaloes that you can see.
Oh my goodness. Why is it so expensive to travel in Africa?
Each country that you travel, most of them you get individual visas. As opposed to where like Schengen, 26 countries, Schengen countries use one visa. And African visas cost $50. 26 visas, it will cost 1,300 USD. So, but that Schengen visa, it's like half of Africa you travel with one visa. Because Africa we have 54 countries. The cost of excursions in Africa, they are quite pricey. The park entry fee in most of the parks in Africa, they are approximately 100 USD plus. While most of the excursions in Europe cost around 30 USD or less. We don't have a good network, accessibility and network. Most places, when you travel like now in Europe, you use trains and tubes which are quite cheap, and you're able to travel from one country to another country very fast and very efficient. There's no traffic jam, so that cuts down fast the tour time. Secondly, the cost of traveling.
How about a game drive?
Yes.
Are you seeing in your clientele a rise of Africans wanting to travel elsewhere in Europe or Asia instead of Africa because of just how difficult and the cost of it all?
Yes, amongst our clientele from here, there's a very big increase of clients who want to travel to other destinations apart from Africa just because of the cost.
In part 2 of this story, we take a look at how much it would cost you to have your dream holiday in the continent and what options there are available in terms of transport for the African traveler. A recent survey conducted on more than 5,000 people across Kenya, Nigeria, and South Africa by travel tech company Sabre Corporation found that while 26% had traveled by plane in the past 24 months, various barriers were preventing them from traveling more often. The majority said that air travel was too expensive, but many also cited difficulties in obtaining visas and booking flights, delays, queues at the airport, and an overall stressful travel experience as some of the reasons they don't travel more. To help me understand why travel is so expensive, I spoke to businessman and travel enthusiast Kenneth Kaunda Joe.
In Africa, we only have air and road. So the major problem is we don't have the infrastructure. That leaves us with the air travel alone. The moment the air travel monopolizes the traveling scene, it becomes definitely expensive. Because first of all, the taxes are quite high. So these airlines would actually avoid going to certain destinations because of fuel. Traveling in Africa is circuitous. It means you have to always lay over in every destination. And that costs. You have to pay for when you land in any particular country, you have to pay. But the problem is that we have what we call the stubborn nationalism. Every country is trying to protect their borders. Most of them, I could say up to 90%, you have to have a layover. And the few airlines we have in Africa are monopolizing the game. So if you leave these few airlines operating this region, definitely their prices are going to be high because we don't have options. Where there's no competition, the prices have to be high.
Africa is moving towards trying to do more business together, trying to trade together. What does this travel mean in terms of trying to accelerate that?
Right now they project that if Africa was to be a single aviation zone whereby there were no restrictions and layovers and all these regulations, we would actually improve our income by 40% as a continent. So this kind of red tape bureaucracies have to be limited. Let's open up the region. Let's make it more like a single country travel. And then it makes work much easier. It makes traveling more easier. And it makes trade, research, studies, traveling for leisure much more affordable, much easier and much quicker.
Given the high cost of inter-African travel, more Africans are opting to do a Eurotour instead. In fact, Europe is the top international region destination for travelers coming from Africa. My bags are packed and I'm ready to go to Europe to figure out why travel is so affordable there. Cheap flights, low-cost train fares, and quick and easy online bookings make Amsterdam an easy destination and transit choice globally, especially for most Europeans and Westerners. So I'm here in Amsterdam Central Station. Now you can apply for this visa known as the Schengen visa, which opens doors to 26 different European countries. This essentially means that I can have breakfast here in Amsterdam and then hop on this train, get to Brussels in 1.5 hours, have my business meeting, and then hop on another train and get to Paris just in time for my romantic date. So, let's go, let's hop on. And voila, it took me less than 2 hours to get to a different country. I don't know about you, but I would love to travel in Africa with such ease and in a cost-efficient way. So, how can you make travel more affordable?
African clients are last-minute clients. That's a disadvantage to us. Most of the people in in Europe plan their holidays very early, way early, like 2 years before, a year before, and they're able to pay very little, especially on flights and all that. As a part of mitigating this fast, I would like to tell us Africans, let's be planners of holidays. Let's plan early and we're able to pay a little, far much less than what we should have paid.
As much as possible, if you can, do figure out a way to use public transport. That does save a lot of money over relying on tour companies who do charge you an arm and a leg to move you around and get you to specific destinations. Also, Google as much as possible, follow a lot of blogs, travel vlogs, to try and get a couple of tips here and there to save money. And the third is, do not underestimate the value of travel insurance in case you get sick or anything happens. The other thing that I would say is a fantastic sort of saving is book yourself into an Airbnb or some kind of accommodation that allows you to cook. You save a lot of money not eating in restaurants while you're on the road, and also it saves you money in terms of health.
That's it from this episode of BBC Smart Money. Thanks for watching and see you next time.